Welcome to Bed Crime Stories Podcast. I'm your host, T. Please do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And because I'm not monetized, it would help if you would get a Patreon membership. They're only $1.99 a month. Missing siblings Lilly and Jack Sullivan were reported missing on the morning of May 2nd, 2025. Their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, has been mostly silent since that day. Their so-called stepdad, this guy, Daniel Martel, has been both vocal and visible, but his details of what happened prior to the kids going missing have changed over time, and he fails to answer the really important questions, such as, can you explain why a neighbor reported a 5-speed car driving from your trailer off the property 6 times the night before Lilly and Jack were reported missing? Basically, Daniel just doesn't even acknowledge the question, and he keeps talking about some other crap that he already talked about. According to an article in the Globe and Mail newspaper out of Canada, Lilly and Jack's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, is now calling for a public inquiry into the children's disappearance. Belinda has been the most vocal relative in the case. Gray wants CPS to reveal how and why the government responded to concerns about the home life of 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack. Gray also wants the RCMP to explain how they handled the early stages of the investigation. We know that CPS visited the mobile home where Lilly and Jack were living in the months prior to them being reported missing. Someone at the kids' school raised concerns about the children's home life. And Belinda believes the public at this point has a right to know the details of that CPS report. Specifically, Belinda wants to know what CPS did, what part were they investigating, what were their concerns, and what were they doing. Gray, like those of us covering the case, want to know what happened to Lilly and Jack and why it might have happened. Daniel Martel has said that the CPS visit was scheduled because of potential learning disabilities that Lilly and Jack might have. But last week, the Globe published a story in which Martel said a bruise clearly visible on Jack's face was caused by his sister Lilly. How convenient is that? Blame it on the 6-year-old who's missing. Daniel Martel failed to explain why Jack had a black eye as well during a class trip on December 13th of 2024. It sounds like the teacher was taking pictures of the kids and posting them to Facebook, and the one of Jack shows him with a black eye. Now, according to Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon of the RCMP's Major Crime and Behavioral Science Unit, the investigation into Lilly and Jack's disappearance remains, quote, very active and intensive, end quote. McCammon went on to say that any information that could help the police is being meticulously scrutinized, prioritized, and actioned to ensure nothing is missed, end quote. Who knew that actions was a word or a verb? Actioned. The Globe is saying that they discovered through documents released to them through a Freedom of Information request that on May 2nd, that's the same day the kids were reported missing, a manager in Nova Scotia's CPS department wrote an internal memo about the kids for senior government bureaucrats. I'm wondering if that report was written before the kids were reported missing or after. That document, according to the Globe, was shared all the way up to the Deputy Minister for Community Services. Then, 2 weeks later on May 20th, the same manager wrote another longer memo about the children that was also shared with her bosses. I get the feeling that that may have been this manager trying to cover her arse. What do you guys think? Kind of interesting how all these reports are suddenly written after the kids go missing. The contents of the reports, unfortunately for us, are redacted because of privacy reasons, so we can't know what's in them right now. And that's leading, of course, to a lot of speculation. Belinda Gray says the government talking about changes alone now is not good enough. She's calling for more transparency in how the child welfare system dealt with Lilly and Jack, including what prompted someone at their school to contact CPS in the first place. I don't blame her at all. Belinda is quoted as saying, "I'd like to know what the school has stated. Was it just some bruises they saw on Jack? Are there other things? Is there anything concerning Lilly? I would like to know," end quote. Belinda is also frustrated that the RCMP still has yet to reach out to key people in the family, including Jack and Lily's maternal grandfather, Henry Brooks. That would be Malea's father. And he still has not been interviewed, 3 months out and counting. Brooks sounds like he's as eager as Belinda, I think, to find out what happened to Lilly and Jack. He's quoted as saying, "It's been eating me up. I'm wondering where the hell they are. I hope we get some answers soon," end quote. I, for one, am happy to hear that somebody in Malea's family is speaking to reporters and trying to find out what happened to Lilly and Jack. I also wanted to share some photos that I found on the Facebook page called Missing Jack and Lilly Sullivan Uncensored Discussion and Updates. Somebody named Sandy Gwynn wrote, "Just an observation." She wrote Janet, but I think she means Janie. Janie said in her interview that she could hear Lilly and Jack playing on the swings like they always do. But did you notice how new the yellow swing rope was? So she is talking about where you can see the yellow rope that holds the swings, and I'll share those pictures here. This lady, Sandy, writes, "I found a picture of that area before they were painted, i.e. just prior to Janie's interview, and there was a wood pile there, not a place where children could swing." And Sandy says, "I just find it strange. See the before and after photos." That is very strange. It does sort of seem like the Martells decided to clean up the property after the kids were reported missing, tidy it up, try to make it look nice, try to show those swings, saying that Lilly and Jack were playing there that morning. I do feel like some of this has been staged, allegedly, just in my opinion. Let me know if you guys think that those swings were staged and painted after Lilly and Jack went missing. And if you think Janie McKenzie was telling the truth when she was interviewed by the CBC, or is she a little bit like Brian Laundrie's mother? And if you know that case, the Gabby Petito case, you know that his mama was somebody who would help him dig a hole for the body, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm working on another video about Brian Koberger. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you next time on Bed Crime Stories. I love you guys. I hope you're having